My next guest, a legend in country music and an old buddy of mine who I used to open for. He's had 16 #1 hits. He was once the voice of the Dukes of Hazzard, and for many years he's collaborated with Willie Nelson. His new CD has the best title, ladies and gentlemen, Too Dumb for New York City, Too Ugly for L.A. Great title. We're going to talk to him for a little bit, and then we're going to hear him sing. Please welcome Waylon Jennings. Too dumb for New York City, too ugly for L.A. Boy, that says it all, doesn't it? That's my second friend. My buddy of mine once wrote a song called Someday You'll Swing That Skillet and My Face Won't Be There. That was the other one I liked. This is my new favorite. I mean, it says a lot. Tell me about this. It's a very clever title, actually, when you think about it.
Well, it's a true thing, you know. When I was about 19 years old, I went to New York to work with Buddy Holly. And so the biggest, tallest building I'd ever seen was about 15 stories, and half of them wasn't working half the time. And I got up there, and of course, first thing I wanted to do, I went and got me a trench coat and a gangster hat, because I'd seen all them movies.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Then I went downtown looking for the Empire State Building, 2 days in a row. I was standing right under it, and nobody tell me where it's at.
Now, when you went with Buddy Holly to play in New York, you didn't do Ed Sullivan, were you there?
No, that's, I was after that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Buddy, I was really, you know, I worked in his last band, you know, before we went on the road there, but I'll tell you, that almost got me. New York almost stunted my growth.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, L.A. didn't help me a whole lot either.
No, I can't imagine. And how did this seem when you first came? Was this an odd...
Well, I mean, I looked around, and that's truth. I mean, I've never been to L.A. that I hadn't looked around and felt a little bit ugly.
Yeah.
You know? They got some pretty people out here. Do you know that?
Well, you fit right in here, okay. Don't worry about it. That's good. You shouldn't feel too uncomfortable sitting on this panel tonight. Now, I want to ask you, now, if you were starting out today, I mean, country music has changed. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. You think it'd be much different for you? I mean, good music is good music, but...
Probably a lot different, you know, because now you got the videos, and it's a little bit of a beauty contest, you know.
Yeah.
Me and Willie Nelson might have a hard time starting out like that. Because we may be a lot of things, but pretty we ain't. You know?
Well, what advice would you give it? You know, you see, you must meet kids all the time. They come up, they want to do what you do. I mean, what do you say? What kind of advice?
You know, the only thing I can tell somebody, you know, that in country music, especially in country music, they have a tendency to tell you what to do. You know, they get a few years in college, get a marketing. And they come in and take over the music, you know.
Yeah.
Just don't compromise. That's all I always said, and do what you do.
Well, you certainly don't compromise, that's for sure. I know Hank Williams is another big influence, and you certainly copied a lot from Hank.
I sure copied a lot from Hank. In fact, I picked all the wrong things about Hank Williams. And, you know, I wrote that songs on there called the Hank Williams Syndrome. The Hank Williams Syndrome was, you know, write some great songs, have some big hit records, drink a whole lot of whiskey, chase a lot of women, and become a legend and die. And maybe not necessarily in that order.
Right, yeah, that's the trick. Well, I'm glad you didn't follow the last part of it. Anyway, 2 out of 3 is not bad, so that's pretty good. You gonna head over there and do this for us now? All right, I'm gonna hold this up so we can sell some. You go set up. All right. All righty. And now, ladies and gentlemen, well, there he goes. Waylon Jennings going to sing Too Dumb for New York City, Too Ugly for L.A. Waylon Jennings.
When I first saw New York City, I was green down to the core. You could see my redneck glowing for a mile or maybe more. Between the hustlers and the hookers, I must have made their day. They peeled me like an apple, Lord, and sent me on my way. When you're pushed and shoved and almost mud, it ain't no place to be. So I came to one conclusion: New York ain't for me. From sea to shining sea and coast to coast, somewhere in the middle is the land I love the most. I ain't California pretty. I can't survive the great white way. I'm too dumb for New York City and too ugly for L.A. Well, I made my way to Tinseltown, to Hollywood and Vine. Out among those pretty faces, I'd surely find a place for mine. The way I walk, the way I talk, they'll hang on every word. But don't call me, I'll call you, was all I ever heard. In L.A., what they're thinking ain't what they talk about. At least in New York City, there's never any doubt. From sea to shining sea and coast to coast, somewhere in the middle is the land I love the most. I ain't California pretty. I can't survive the great white way. I'm too dumb for New York City and too ugly for L.A. Yeah.
Coming up, comedian Henry Cho.